What's going on, guys? It's PokePond back with another video for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing down below. Here on the channel we talk about everything sealed, from news, new releases and price charting, everything that's going on. Today the topic is going to be Evolving Skies. I'm selling off everything and I'm going to go into the reasonings why. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm really transparent on the channel about what I'm doing personally with my investments and what sealed products I've got in my collection, when I'm buying stuff, what I'm buying, when I'm selling, what I'm selling. I've said over the last couple of videos that I've sold a couple of Evolving Skies booster boxes that were sealed in my collection. I've had them for a long time. I've bought them at varying prices. Some of them I bought for as low as £130. Some of them I bought for as high as £300. I bought them at different stages in the crazy Evolving Skies growth chart that we're all aware of. And I really wanted to make this video today something a little bit different, to really just sort of educate you guys on what I'm doing and the perspective that I have on the sealed market at the moment. And basically, as the title of the video will give away, is I'm starting to sell off all of my Evolving Skies booster boxes, sealed from my collection, and I'm also going to be selling off the rest of my Sword and Shield sealed stuff as well. The majority of my collection is sealed booster boxes from the Sword and Shield era across all of the sets. I'm not quite ready to sell the other booster boxes yet though, because I still want to see a bit more growth in them. I'm probably going to wait another 6 months to a year to see what happens with the pricing on them before I'm ready to sell those. But I think Evolving Skies, I've got to the stage now where I'm ready to sell all of it from my collection and start to take profit. I've already started doing this. I've sold probably about 80% of my Evolving Skies booster boxes. I'm not going to say how many I had, but I do still have a couple of them which I will be looking to sell over the upcoming months. And I want to explain a little reasoning why I'm doing this. And maybe it will help shape your opinions, maybe it won't, but it's important for me to be transparent so that you have all the information in front of you so that you can make your own decisions. Now, the reason why I'm selling all of my Evolving Skies at the moment is because even here on the US markets on TCG Player, we're having nearly 3 months of stable pricing, which is actually a really positive thing for the product. I don't think it's dead by any means. Stabilizing in markets is really positive. When you see a price sort of drop back down again after a long run of inflation on a product, then that's usually a sign that it was overinflated, the price. But a stable market is actually really positive. It means it's sort of an agreed price that everyone's kind of happy buying and selling at around this price point, and that seems to be in the American markets around about 680, 650 to sort of $690. And in the UK market, we're still all over the place with price at the moment. I've been selling mine all for around about 580. I could have sold them for around about 600 if I'd have held a little bit longer, but prices are all over the place. You've got people dumping slightly damaged ones for 524. You've got some people, personally I think this is an overpay. From yesterday, someone paid 645 plus postage. That's way more than what it's been recently. You can see someone picked up a nice sealed minty one here for 520. So I believe the kind of right price is around about 580 mark, which is where I've been selling mine, and I haven't had any problem selling them at that price point. They'll sit up online for probably a few days at 580, and then they tend to sell. So if you're impatient, 520, it will just liquidate you instantly. You might be able to hold out and get a crazy price like this. I mean, this guy does look like he's selling it with a case as well, but that's still a little bit expensive in my books, especially when someone the day before picked one up for 520. So I mean, if you want to buy into Evolving Skies now, my advice would be just be patient, especially if you're in the UK. Just like do your research and like don't FOMO into it. Just like spend a week or two looking at prices and just wait for a good deal, because good deals do come up. This is someone obviously just dumping it and taking some profit. I had lots of offers when I had mine up for around about. I put mine up for 600 and I accepted an offer for 580. But I had so many like low ball offers of people offering me like 500 and stuff. So I'm not surprised that this guy ended up liquidating for 520. But yeah, anyway, the reason why I'm selling my Evolving Skies, I just want to do a little bit of quick maths with you guys. So if it was selling for, I sold one for 580, so some of them I bought in for 130. So if I take the 580 and I minus the 130, which was my cost price originally, that's 450 profit before fees. So 450 divided by the original 130 times 100, I made a 346% profit on those Evolving Sky sides. Yes, some of my boxes I paid more than that, but the ones I made the best profit on, the ones I paid 130 on the booster box for, which was quite a few of them, I made 346% profit before fees. After fees, it's basically dead on a 300% profit. So tripling my money in not that long, like a couple of years. And I want to stress as well, I don't think Evolving Skies is dead. Like, it's at a really positive stage now where we're at a stable point in the market. I just personally think that I can make the money work for me in a different place, and that's where what I'm gonna talk about in this video. And I do think the rest of Sword and Shield is gonna get to that place as well very soon, next sort of 6 months to a year. But I don't think the other sets are quite there yet, especially not on the UK markets. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on them, tracking prices as always, but I will be looking to sell my Sword and Shield probably by the end of the year, probably around about Christmas time. Prices always go up a little bit around Christmas time as well. So we'll have a look and keep tracking the prices. But I think Evolving Skies is a good time for me personally to sell mine. Do I think Evolving Skies is a good investment to still buy into it now? Yes, I do think Evolving Skies is going to go up to around about 2k a box. Over the next couple of years, I do think it's a great investment. For me though, when booster boxes start getting up to the 600, 700, 800 range, even nearing on the 1000 range, it makes things a bit more difficult for me. I feel less comfortable sort of selling them online, shipping them through eBay. Now, I've never really had any issues selling Pokemon products through eBay, but I tell you what, if a sale goes wrong and you've got £1,000 booster box going out in the mail, like, are you willing to eat that cost? That's going to eat into a huge amount of your profit. And me personally, I would just much rather have my risk spread out into smaller items and have more of them, and I'm going to talk about that today. So I am buying in early into Scarlet and Violet. I'm making the shift before everyone else does. And not everyone, but the majority of sealed collectors are based around Sword and Shield at the moment. They're still buying into them. I'm completely shifting my focus. I'm buying into Scarlet and Violet, and I'm going to tell you why. First reason, I'm a long-term investor and a long-term collector as well, really. I hold my products for at least 2, 3, sometimes even 4, 5 years. I've held booster boxes for 6, 7 years before I've sold them. So for me, it doesn't really matter that it's ultra modern, because I'm not going to sell it anytime soon. I know I'm buying this with the intent to hold it for 4 years, 5 years before I sell it. And I think that people are really sleeping on Scarlet and Violet. Yes, it is dangerous because it's ultra modern. Things can get reprinted. I think things will get reprinted. I think we're going to see multiple waves of all of the current sets of Scarlet and Violet. But it doesn't matter. Like, honestly, the price point Scarlet and Violet is at the moment, and the lack of demand for it, just means that it's a good buy for a long-term hold if you know you're not going to touch it for a long time. And some of these sets I think are actually pretty good. Like, I'm really starting to change my opinion on this, and I do think that there's going to be a massive shift at some point over the next sort of 2 years, and it's not going to be a shift that's going to change overnight. It's going to be gradual over time, but I think over the next 2 years a lot of money is going to flow from sword and shield investments. People will then cash in, take their profit, and then the money's going to start flowing into Scarlet and Violet. And I'm getting in early on this, you know. I don't care if I've got to sit on it for a couple of years. Twilight Masquerade is what I've been buying this last week. So I've been selling Evolving Skies, I've been buying Twilight Masquerade, but all of the sets really I'm going to take a quick look at. So I mean, they are so cheap at the moment. TCG player for Twilight Masquerade at the moment, basically $100. Okay, eBay UK £100. You can buy them all day long for £100. Yes, so this one's only got stock photos, but you know, you can find them for £100 with proper photos. If you haven't got £100 to spend and you're in the EU, buy these half booster packs. £44. Like, come on, guys, are you crazy? £44 is just disgustingly cheap. Let's actually just calculate this out for a minute, okay? Because we're all about value and working out how much value is in a product, okay? So for £44 delivered, you get 18 booster packs of the new set, and it's quite a decent set in my opinion. £2.44 a booster pack. You're never gonna get cheaper than that, ever. Like, I don't care whether they print this into the ground or not. You are never getting 18 booster packs in a sealed product for £2.44. Even on the booster box, so £100. What does that work out at? So £100 divided by 36. £2.77. Come on, £2.77 a booster pack for a brand new set. We're going to look back at this and see this as really cheap. I think in 4 years' time, 5 years' time, Twilight Masquerade could be one of the best sets. I don't think it's going to be the best set of Scarlet and Violet. I think that's going to come towards the end of the block, but it could easily be a top 5 set. It could easily be, and I think that we're really going to start looking at these sets in a different light in a bit of time. Once people start getting priced out of Sword and Shield, which will happen over the next couple of years as things rise, money is going to flow into Scarlet and Violet. I'm convinced of it. Let's have a look at some of the other sets. Paradox Rift, another set I quite like in the set. I don't think it's quite as good as Twilight Masquerade, but it's still a decent set. It's been out for a little while now. Still going $100 mark. You can pick these up all day long for $100. eBay, £100. Nice sealed one. Nice photos. Again, we're talking about, what is it? For £100 on a booster box, it's $2.77 a pack. It's just crazy. You can't afford that? Buy a half booster pack. 46 plus a little bit of postage, so what's that? 49. 49 is still works out at around about 100 a booster pack. You're still looking at that 277 range. It's just absolutely crazy. Paldea Evolved has had a lot of hype recently. It's out of the only Scarlet and Violet sets, it's probably the only one that's started to climb up in price. I do think it'll drop back down again though, because I do think it'll get heavily reprinted. But even when it gets heavily reprinted, the lowest it's going to drop again is $100. Like, if you're holding this for years, it really doesn't matter if you buy in for an extra $30 now. What, you're going to try and wait and time the market to save $30 when this booster box, if you're going to hold on to it for years, it's going to double, triple, maybe even quadruple in price. Like, it just doesn't make sense if you're going for the long-term hold. I'm just buying into everything now, to be honest, because it's so cheap. For the price of the Evolving Skies booster box, even after I sell it after fees, I get like 500. I can buy 5 Scarlet and Violet booster boxes for that. That's just insane. I can almost complete a whole set of Scarlet and Violet for selling off one Evolving Skies booster box. Like, this is just where my focus is going to be now. And a lot of people won't agree. A lot of people are still going hard into Sword and Shield, and that's fine. I will still keep you up to date with the prices on all of them. I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing. I'm just getting early into Scarlet and Violet now. Again, Paldea Evolved, half booster box, $62.99. So what's double that for the booster box price? 125, basically £126. That's still below retail. Temporal Forces, again, quite a nice set. $100. Everything's just $100 at the moment, or £100 basically. Here you go. You can pick one up. £100 right now. £98. That's about 30%, more than 30% below retail price. It's insane. Like, I'm just getting into these now. I'll quickly go through a few others. £42 for a half booster pack of Temporal Forces. That's so cheap. Look at this. 42 divided by 18. 233 a pack. You're never going to get cheaper than that. Obsidian Flames. Everyone is hating on Obsidian Flames. I like Obsidian Flames. I think it'll do well long term. Everyone's saying, oh, it's Darkness Ablaze Part 2. No, they're completely different sets in completely different blocks. And it all just depends on supply and demand in the future. The demand for Obsidian Flames isn't necessarily going to be the demand for Darkness Ablaze. And I do think Darkness Ablaze will go up in price. It's just not the best set in Sword and Shield, so you've got to wait for the other sets to start pricing people out. And then it rises with that. There's a famous saying in investing, which is a rising tide lifts all ships. So it basically means that if the entire Sword and Shield block starts going up in price because everything starts rising, you start seeing money flying into Fusion Strike, Astral Radiance, Lost Origin. That's going to start lifting up sets like Darkness Ablaze. And I feel like Obsidian Flames is going to have that same effect with the Scarlet and Violet set. Look, Obsidian Flames, nice minty box right here. $94.99. That is so cheap right now. So 95 delivered for a nice minty one. 36 packs, 263 a pack. It's so cheap. And Obsidian Flames has been out for a little while now, but I'm basically buying into Twilight Masquerade at the moment because I really like it as a set. I don't even care if it gets printed into the ground. It's so cheap now, it doesn't even matter to me. £100 all day long. I'm going to start buying this. So yeah, I'm cashing out on my Evolved Skies, and I'm buying into Scarlet and Violet booster boxes and sealed product. I'm getting in early. I'm putting them away in storage for multiple years. Look, half booster pack of Obsidian Flames. If you don't want to buy a full one, £53, cheap as you like. And there is still plays to be made. You know, I say this every week, week in, week out in the channel. I do think that Sword and Shield, you're still going to see money flowing into your Fusion Strike, Astral Radiance, Brilliant Stars, Silver Tempest. You can still pick them up really cheap. Here's Pokemon Center UK. You can get these for retail at the moment. Fusion Strike and Astral Radiance are really good buys. Brilliant Stars will see a bit of a boost once these two go out of stock, I think. But yeah, just wanted to do something a little bit different this week. Next week I'll go back to the normal. I will price chart some of the Sword and Shield block. We'll have a look at movements and whatnot. But everything's fairly stable at the moment in the Sword and Shield block. Just wanted to be super transparent with you guys about what I'm doing. I am selling all of my Evolved Skies, and I'm starting to buy in heavy into Twilight Masquerade, and I might start buying into some of these other sets as well. Maybe not Paldea Evolved, because I do think it's going to go a little bit cheaper. I might time it on that, but I am tempted to buy into sort of Temporal Forces, Paradox Rift, etc. as well. I might just buy some of these half booster boxes so that I'm not too deep into them at the moment. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please do comment down below what you think about all of this. Am I making a crazy decision? What would you do in my situation? What are your views on Scarlet and Violet going forward? Do you think it's a good long-term hold? Let me know down below. Make sure you subscribe down below to never miss an opportunity. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.